Most people think a room looks expensive because of what it costs, but the rooms that feel polished, calm, and beautifully put together usually follow a different rule. They look intentional. They have contrast, texture, lighting, a sense of balance, and just enough personality to feel collected over time. You do not need to replace every piece of furniture or buy a designer sofa to create that effect. Sometimes the biggest transformation comes from adding a few details that give the room structure. Today, I am sharing 5 Amazon finds that can make an ordinary room feel more curated, more layered, and much more expensive without turning it into a showroom. And the important part is not simply buying the pieces, it is knowing how to use them. The first upgrade is one of the easiest ways to make a living room, bedroom, or reading corner feel instantly richer. Velvet pillow covers in a deep olive green. If your sofa or bed feels flat, the problem is usually not that it needs more pillows. It needs contrast. A room filled with the same fabrics, the same brightness level, and the same soft neutral tones can start to feel unfinished, even when every item is nice on its own. Velvet changes that because it catches light differently throughout the day. It adds depth without needing a loud pattern, and olive green is especially useful because it feels grounded, warm, and more sophisticated than a basic gray or bright white accent. The key is to use these covers as a supporting color, not as the only color in the room. Pair them with cream, warm beige, soft camel, brown wood, black accents, or even muted terracotta. On a bed, place them in front of your sleeping pillows, then add 1 textured lumbar pillow if you want a more finished look. On a sofa, use an uneven number of pillows and vary the textures. For example, 2 olive velvet pillows can sit beside a linen pillow, a woven throw, or a subtle striped cushion. This creates a layered look without making the sofa feel crowded. The goal is to make the room feel lived in, not overly styled. The second find is a set of gold hurricane candle holders with ribbed glass covers. This is where you can create something designers often use: visual height. Many homes have decorative objects, but they are all sitting at the same level. A candle, a small bowl, a frame, and a stack of books, all placed flat on a console table, can make the surface feel scattered. Instead, you want to create a small composition with different heights. These candle holders do that beautifully. The brass-toned base adds a warm metallic note, while the ribbed glass creates texture and soft reflection. They can work on a dining table, entryway table, coffee table, mantle, or even a bathroom counter, if the space is large enough. The trick is to style them in groups. 3 holders at different heights already create a focal point, but you can make them feel even more elevated by placing them beside a low stack of books, a small ceramic object, or a tray. Keep the surrounding pieces quiet so the glass and candlelight have room to stand out. When the room gets darker, lighting a few candles changes the entire feeling of the space. It softens hard edges, makes wood look warmer, and creates that cozy evening atmosphere people associate with boutique hotels and high-end homes. You are not just decorating a surface, you are giving the room a mood. The third find solves one of the biggest problems in budget decorating. A room can have nice furniture and still feel flat because all the light comes from the ceiling. A rechargeable picture light is an easy way to add a second layer of lighting and make your artwork, mirrors, or framed photographs feel intentional. This is one of those details people notice without always knowing why the room looks better. It brings attention upward, creates depth on the wall, and makes even affordable art feel more special. You do not need an expensive original painting. A framed print, a black and white photo, a landscape image, or a simple abstract piece can look far more elevated when it has a warm picture wake light above it. This particular type of light is especially helpful because it is cordless and rechargeable, so you can use it without dealing with complicated wiring. Place it above a larger frame or a pair of smaller frames, then use the dimmer setting to keep the glow subtle. You never want the light to feel harsh or blue. Warm, low lighting is what creates the expensive atmosphere. This is also a smart solution for renters who want a more custom look without making permanent changes. Think about the walls in your room as vertical real estate. A room feels more complete when the eye moves from the floor to the furniture and then upward to something beautiful. Picture lighting gives the wall a purpose. The fourth find is a marble decorative bowl with an acacia wood pedestal. This is a perfect example of why materials matter more than clutter. You do not need 10 tiny objects on every table. One substantial piece made from materials that feel natural and tactile can have more impact than a shelf full of random decor. Marble brings in a cool, solid texture, while acacia wood adds warmth. Together, they create contrast in a way that feels collected and timeless. You can use this bowl as an entryway catch-all for keys, a coffee table centerpiece, a fruit bowl in the kitchen, or a decorative object on a dining table. But before placing anything inside it, consider whether it actually needs to hold something. Sometimes the bowl itself is enough. A common mistake is filling every decorative container with fake flowers, beads, random objects, or unnecessary filler. Leaving some empty space makes a room feel calmer and more expensive. If you do style it, keep it simple. A few lemons in the kitchen, a small stack of beautiful books nearby, or a single sculptural object can work well. On an entryway table, the bowl can become functional while still looking intentional. Add keys in a small tray beside it, but keep the rest of the surface clear. That is the secret. Use decor to organize the room visually, not to create more visual noise. The fifth find is a long runner rug with a contemporary circle design and a jute backing. Rugs are one of the most underrated tools for making a room feel finished, especially in hallways, entryways, kitchens, and narrow spaces that often get ignored. A runner does more than protect the floor. It gives a pathway a sense of purpose. It makes a narrow hall feel more designed, an entryway feel more welcoming, and a kitchen feel softer and more layered. The biggest mistake people make with rugs is choosing one that is too small or treating it like an afterthought. A runner should create a clear visual line through the space. It should sit with enough breathing room around the edges, and it should relate to the colors already in the room. This gray design is useful because it can work with warm wood, black accents, cream walls, olive green textiles, and metallic details. The circle pattern gives the space movement without being overly busy. Use it in a hallway with a picture light over framed art, and suddenly the area feels like part of the home instead of a place people simply walk through. Use it in an entryway with the marble bowl on a console table, and you create a welcoming first impression before anyone even reaches the living room. Use it in a kitchen where the floors feel cold, and it can make the space feel more comfortable and intentionally styled. The reason these 5 pieces work so well together is that they solve 5 different design problems. The velvet pillow covers add softness and depth. The candle holders add height and warm evening atmosphere. The picture light creates layered lighting and makes the walls feel considered. The marble and wood bowl adds material contrast and a sense of substance. The runner rug grounds the space and connects the room from one end to the other. None of these changes require a complete makeover. You can begin with the area that bothers you most. Maybe your sofa looks plain. Start with the pillows. Maybe your entryway feels empty. Start with the runner and the bowl. Maybe your room looks fine during the day, but uninspiring at night. Start with the candle holders and picture light. The best rooms are not built in one shopping trip. They are built by noticing what the room is missing, then adding one thoughtful layer at a time. That is how you make a home feel more expensive without spending like it is